Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do my July 2024 book haul. So I tried to film this like 10 times. Anyway, we're going to get it done this time. So I did buy too many books. I bought 20 books total. Yeah, it wasn't as good of a book buying month as I was hoping. So, yeah, I'm still working on trying to curb myself. We'll see if I can do better in months to come. So I did buy 2 used books. That had to do mostly with Jane Austen. July, the first one was Sir Charles Grandison. This is a volume for Samuel Richardson. So this is one of his novels I didn't know much about. I think Katie at Books and Things mentioned it. I don't know anything about it. I bought it on a whim that day. No idea, but I still need to read Pamela by this author. I read Clarissa when I was in college. So it is one of those authors from the 1700s that I want to read more about or read more of their stuff. I don't know why I bought that day, but you know, it was one of those days. I also got a nonfiction. This is the only nonfiction I bought this month, and that is Voices from the World of Jane Austen by Malcolm Day. So this talks about her time period. I think it uses examples from her novels and, you know, talking about life and, you know, people in public and when they're at home and stuff like that. You know, so there's like a lot of books that I've read nonfiction about her in the recent years have talked about this, but this is just another one. And I like to read from different perspectives to see what they say and what quotes they pull up and, you know, what else they talk about. So it sounds kind of interesting. So then let's talk about the 6 pre-orders I got. The first one was The Match by Sarah Adams. So this is, as I said, it's contemporary, and I think she has service dogs, and his daughter needs a service dog, and I think that they're trying to find the right match, but meaning the dog. But it has a dog on the cover. So anyway, it's a cute contemporary, and I really do like Sarah Adams' romances, so I am looking forward to reading that. Those are like ones that she wrote that have been re-released, revised, and expanded. I also got The Undermining of Twyla and Frank by Megan Bannon. This is book 2, or a companion novel to The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy. We're just following another couple, but I don't know what is going on in this fantasy world in this, what they're connected to. There's some nefarious plot. That's about all I know. So I don't know. I'm hoping I can go right into this. I don't remember everything from, I might have to reread The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy, but because I really enjoyed that book. But anyway, I do want to continue on in the series. I don't know. We saw like a glimpse of these people in that book, but I don't know. I don't know what that one's about. I just know it's fantasy, and it was fun. It was cute. The other one was. I also got The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. So this one has to do with a woman who worked at, I think, at the library, and there's a revolution that breaks out, so she takes some of those books home, and she's not supposed to have them, I guess. And she goes back to her hometown, and it's her kind of reestablishing herself in that area. And it just sounds really cute. On the back here, it says, "This was a good place with kind people who cared about each other. There was a unicorn in the woods, mermaids in the coves, and the best raspberries she ever tasted. And then there was Lauren." And I'm thinking that's the male protagonist who's a grump. I don't know, something like that. I can't, I'm not sure. And I think that there's some kind of weird creature-ish that goes with her, that comes to the place too. As again, I don't know enough about it, but I'm going to read that fairly soon because it sounds really, really good. I also got Sanctuary by Ilona Andrews. This is the first in the romance chronicles. So this is connected to the Kate Daniels world. I would not start with this novella, but this just came out and I'm so excited. Tia at Genres and Journals and I are going to do a buddy read of this before this video goes out. But I'm really excited to be back in the Kate Daniels world. It's definitely, Tia and I read the whole, everything by Ilona Andrews. And this was, you know, again, we started with the Kate Daniels series. So anyway, I'm looking forward to reading that. It's really short. It's like only 140 pages, but it starts another kind of chronicle, you know, as it's another part of the world, another side character who gets their time in the spotlight. So I'm kind of curious. It has to do with a boy shows up at Roman's door that's injured and asks for sanctuary, and that's about all I know. And then pre-order wise, I got two of the Green Creek books. So I got the paperback of Ravensong Book 2, and I got the hardback version of Book 4 by TJ Klune. So I did do a reread of Ravensong in July. So I love this series. It's my, one of my favorite series of all time. This has really, really pretty sprayed edges, and it has kind of snowflakes on them. And so this series is following Ox. At the first book, Wolfsong follows Ox, who has some interesting neighbors. So this is kind of urban fantasy with werewolves, and it's just adorable. I love it. It makes me it makes me laugh, it makes me cry, it just does all the feels. So I'm looking forward to my reread, and now I have copies of all of them, and then I'm collecting the paperbacks as well. And then I have a few stacks of books that are a stack of books of ones I went to Barnes & Noble on 3 different occasions and bought the buy one get one half off, all for different reasons. So I did get The Saint of Bright Doors by, I don't know how you say that name. I can't even try. Sorry. My sounding out skills are really horrible. So this one is, I think this talks about somebody is raised to kill and horn, and there's something to do with saints, and there's something to do with doors. So it's like, it kind of has a fantasy element with, I think, really like a modern stuff. So it could be kind of urban fantasy. I'm not sure. But these doors, what it says, scattered throughout the city are bright doors, looming portals through which a cold wind blows. What does that mean? I have no idea. So I bought that. I don't know. It's been on my wish list since the hardback came out. So I did want to get it once I got a paperback. I also got Foul Days by Genovia Dimova, which is book 1 of the Witches Condemn. I can't say this word. Compendium of Monsters. There's a duology. So this is, I think this is kind of urban fantasy too. I'm not sure time period wise, but it does talk about this person who I think she deals with monsters on a regular basis, except that she doesn't get along with her ex, who is the Tsar of monsters, and she has defied him one too many times. Now he's hunting her. So I don't know what it's. I don't know if it's a second chance romance that's dealt like all, I think the fantasy is the higher element here, but I don't know what's going on. There's creatures. I don't know, but it sounds cool. I did have this pre-ordered, but the pre-order didn't come in. My, the used bookstore new and used bookstore that I purchased it from, they just didn't call me until like after I bought this copy, because I waited a couple weeks and they never called me. And so they called me then, like, oh yeah, they said they called you. And I'm like, nope, no one called me. And by then I'd already bought the book. So, oh well. I also got Sunbringer by Hannah Kanner. So this is book 2 in the Fallen Gods trilogy. So I really enjoyed Godkiller in June when I read that. And I wanted to know what happens next, so I did pick up the next book in that fantasy series about a world where there are many, many, many gods, and the things that happened in a country where they killed all the gods, and kind of the repercussions of that years later. I also picked up Well Met by Jen DeLuca. So this is a contemporary romance that I've seen for many years, for 4 or 5 years, that everybody's talked about and raved about, but I wasn't really in a contemporary romance mood, so I never bought it. But I bought it on the one of the buy one get one half off, because I had to pick another book, and I picked this one. So we'll give this a try. So it's Ren Fair. I don't know. I think it's Grumpy Sunshine. I'm not sure on this one. Anyway, we'll see. I've heard a lot of good things about that series and that book in particular, so we will see what happens. And then I bought 2 books from Barnes & Noble for the buy one get one half off, but I've never seen these books before, so they're really kind of blind picks. These are almost cover buys, not quite, but I never heard of them, so maybe I'll do a video on reading these to see what happens, because I don't know anything about this. This is The Sins on Their Bones by Laura R. Smolton. Anyway, so this one is set in a Jewish folklore-inspired reimagining of 19th century Eastern Europe. This queer dark fantasy debut pits two estranged husbands and a daring spy master on opposite sides of a civil war. So I don't know. I just picked it up on a whim. It just sounds cool. It looks cool. It has the skulls and keys and weapons, and I don't know. It just sounded interesting. And again, I don't know anything about that. If you know anything about that, let me know if you liked it or not. I also got The Price of Redemption, which is book 1 in the Tides of Magic series by Sean Carpenter. Again, another one I don't know anything about. That one was, this one is, So this one also I picked up that same day. And this one has to do with a Marquise she is, despite her powerful magic, she is fleeing her homeland to escape death during a revolution. And she is, I don't know if she escapes captured, but she is put on a frigate with another captain, and I think she's female. So I think that they're in the middle of a war kind of thing, and naval. So it's like, it's not quite pirates, but it's like on the seas. I don't know. It's in magic and seas, and he needs a sea mage, I think, for the journey. I'm not sure what's going on. Anyway, another book I don't know anything about. So if you know anything, let me know. And if I should read that. I don't know either of those books because I don't know anything about them. Then I bought a few books just on whims, either when I was at Barnes & Noble or just off Amazon, just because. And one of them was When Grumpy Met Sunshine, which is by Charlotte Steen. So this one is Grumpy Sunshine romance. He is an ex-soccer player, and he gets a deal to write his memoir, and he doesn't really want to do it, and he doesn't want to write about stuff. And so they get him a ghostwriter, and she comes in to write the book for him and get to know him and stuff. And of course, because they're seen together, because they banter and bicker their way through this. And they're mistaken for having a budding romance, and then they have to go into the fake dating situation, which I just love that stuff. So anyways, it has to do with writing and a football guy, anyway, or soccer. Sounds good. Anyway, hope to get to that soon. I did pick up The Veiled Kingdom by Holly Renee. I just picked it up one day, just cause. So this is the first book in this series. I think this is the princess runs away from her cruel father, but she falls in with the rebels, and then the rebels train her to do stuff, but the rebels leader's son is really skeptical of who she really is. And anyway, I hear it's a really good fantasy romance. I would like to read that. One I really like to get to is House of Bane and Blood by Alexis L. Menard. I've heard so many things about this, about a lot of the big people who are into fantasy romance. This sounds like a steampunk urban fantasy, and I am just dying to read this. In a city split into two opposing sides, power comes in many forms: bloodlines, money, love, and the most importantly, secrets. So, I can't remember how it goes. I think there might be an arranged marriage or something. I can't remember, or I don't know. I have no idea, actually. Let's just be honest. I stopped listening to the reviews because I already had bought it, and I just hear the rave part. I didn't want to really know what the details. So this is one I really want to get to soon. The second book is already out, so if I like this one, I'll be buying that one, but that was really good. Anyway, and then I have a couple from Prime Day. I did only buy 3 books, which is pretty good. I got The Haunting of Gillespie House by Darcy Coates. I have a few that I've left that I have not read of her, the Haunting series, that has all the haunted houses. So these are all, haunted house books. I love them. Anyway, but this is one of the ones I didn't have. I also got The Atlas Six by Olivia Blake because I just read Masters of Death and really enjoyed it much more than I thought I would. And so I decided to give The Atlas Six a try because this is fantasy. And it has to do with some magicians who want to be, I guess, the top ranks of these Alexandrians or something. I don't know. I keep hearing, you know, miscellaneous things, like good and bad things about the whole series, but I want to at least try the first book. And I just never picked it up because it never really drew me in, because I heard such mixed reviews, but I just decided to do it because I found it really cheap on Prime Day. And then the other book that this other book I should not have bought on Prime Day, but it was so cheap and it was just, what if I like the series? I'm going to want to read the next book. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. But I still bought A Day of Fallen Night by Samantha Shannon. I now own 3 of her books. I have not read any of them. So this is the prequel, or the second book in the Roots of Chaos series, following A Priory in the Orange Tree. So I do have that book on my shelf, which I meant to read, and I haven't yet. And then this follows that one. So it's a fantasy world with dragons, and they both sound so cool. Anyway, we'll see what happens with that. I do want to read The Bone Season first, which is on my shelf, and hopefully I'll get to that this month. But I now have that. And then I bought a book that is going to be my reading copy, because I bought the hardback when it came out, and this series is one of my favorites, and I held off because I didn't know when the last book was coming out. And I'm in the middle of rereading The Last King of Ostenard, and this is book 3, Into the Narrow Dark by Tad Williams. So I got the paperback so that I can read from this one, because I have, so I don't want to read the hardbacks if I don't have to, but I will, again, this is book 3, and book 4 comes out in November, so I will be reading this probably late September, early October. We'll see what happens, but I'm really looking forward to, as I said, I'm in the middle of my reread of the first 2 books and the novella that come before this, and then I will jump into this and read this for the first time. So I did buy that. I did not need to, but I always have a paperback copy of the series as well as the hardbacks that I've gotten, because again, favorite series of all time for epic fantasy. Anyway, that's it. Those are all the books that I bought in what is this in July. If there's anything here you think I should read, definitely let me know. Anything that you loved that you really think I should read, let me know. What did you buy in July? Anything good? Anything, I need to know about? Or hey, if there's anything on here that you're just even interested in, let me know and I will try to get to it, because I have a lot of books and I have so many choices, and I need to calm down the book buying. But I say that every time. And I do really well up to a certain point in the month, and then it just falls away. We'll see how I do in August. Anyway, so I will see you guys later. Bye.